Hello everyone. This is the lecture 7 of the data science series and today we'll study about the clustering. So, imagine uncovering hidden patterns in your data or grouping similar items together without any labels. That's the magic of clustering. And in this video, we'll explore one of the most popular concepts about the clustering techniques, that is K-mean clustering. So, let's get started. What is clustering in machine learning? So, clustering is an unsupervised learning technique that groups similar data points together. It's like finding natural groupings within your data. For example, in customer data, clustering can group people with buying behavior with similar buying behaviors. So, in an and this is one example, and consider another, that is in an image, clustering can segment similar color regions together, or consider an image where there is multiple objects such as cars are there, so it can cluster similar colors of cars together. So the goal of clustering is to uncover hidden structures and patterns in your data that you might notice otherwise. Now, how it works? So, K-mean clustering partition your data into k distant clusters. It is by iteratively assigning points to the nearest cluster at the center or updating the center until it's the coverage. So, what it means is, firstly, choose the number of cluster, that is k, then initialize k cluster centers randomly, and then assign each data point to the nearest cluster center, and then update the cluster centers by averaging the points assigned to them, and then we'll repeat the steps. Excuse me. And then we'll get the more clustering is more implemented. Now, what are the advantages of k-mean clustering? So it is simple to implement and scalable to large data sets, and it provides a clear way to visualize and interrupt data structures. Now, preparing data for k-mean clustering. So, before applying k-means, it is crucial to prepare to properly prepare your data. So, how we can prepare the data? Firstly, we'll handle missing values, that is, replace or remove missing data points. Secondly, normalize feature, that is, scale your features to ensure fair comparison. And third is select relevant attributes, that is, choose the most important variables for clustering. And a well prepared data set leads to more meaningful and accurate clustering result. Now, moving on, we have determining optimal number of cluster. So one of the biggest questions in k means arises is, how many clusters should I use? So there are three popular methods to determine the optimal number of cluster. Firstly, we have elbow method. That is, we plot within the cluster sum of square, that is WCSS, against the number of cluster. Look for the elbow point where the reduction in the VCSS slows down, and that's your optimal K. Next is silhouette analysis. So it measures how well each data points fit within the cluster. That is, uh, it scores from the ranges -1 to 1, where the higher score indicating better results. And lastly, we have gap statistic that compared the WCSS of the actual data to the WCSS of the randomly generated data. The cluster count that maximizes the gap statistic is optimal. Now, next on. So now let's move to our coding part. One second. Yeah. So here we have imported the libraries which were NumPy, Matplotlib, and then sklearn dataset and clusters. So firstly, we have imported add to and generate a synthetic dataset with four distinct clusters. Here we have written all of it, and then here the dataset. Now, in the syntax, the data set consists of 300 data points grouped in four clusters, and then we'll use k-means to identify the grouping. Now let's try run this code. So this has completed our running, and it is showing the synthetic data set, and this is the scatter plot for it, and then all the data points are in gray. Now next we'll apply the k-mean clustering, so where we have set the number of clusters equal to 4, and then we initialize cluster randomly. Here the random state is also given, and then we assign each data points to the nearest cluster center, that is and then we iteratively update the cluster center until they stabilize. So here k is equals to 4, and then we have fitted the model. Now you can see where are the firstly centerites were in the random state, but now you can see where the major centroid is stated by the taking all the average. Now uh, now next on we were retrieving the label and centralized labels and centroids. So once the model is trained, we can retrieve that is cluster labels and centroids. So and then visualizing it by the plot. So here we have scatter plot and it is scattered. So each color represent different clusters, and the red X are marked with the centroid of the cluster, and the uh, and after observing the result, we get here is what we observe. Firstly, clusters, that is the data points are grouped on the based on their proximity to the centroids. Secondly, the red x represents the centroid, that is the center of cluster, and these centroids are updated dynamically during the clustering process. And then third is dynamic assessment, that is data point are reassigned to stable to clusters in each iteration until the centroids stabilize. Now next on and yeah, now we are done with the clustering code. Now next move on to our presentation. We were going further now. About the evaluating k-means clustering performance, we have elbow curve, silhouette score, clustering visualization, and domain knowledge. So the elbow curve plot the WCSS to ensure that you have chosen the optimal number of cluster. Secondly, the silhouette score, calculate the average of silhouette score for your data, that when it is higher it is better. And then next on we have clustering visualization, that plots your 2D or 3D cluster for better understanding. Now, real world application of k-mean clustering. So, k-mean clusterings are widely used in various industries. Here are some real world application. Firstly, customer segmentation, that is, group customers based on behavior, preferences, or demographics. It helps to marketing strategies and improve customer experience. And image compression, that is cluster similar pixels to reduce the number of colors in an image. And then anomaly detection, that is identify that may represent fraud or equipment failures. So that's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.